Shitwylon. Real dumb shit. Real dumb shit. Real dumb shit. Real dumb shit. Your boy Shunt and your boy Granati.
I think that sounds a bit too pirate radio.
What do you mean, man? Explain yourself.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna be dropping beats and shit.
Oh, bruv, like we are. We're gonna be dropping beats on knowledge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But we're supposed to be talking about films and dumb shit, not
Well, it's still room for
baby
people.
cakes and
Baby cakes? What? Hey, what do you mean baby cakes? There's nothing like that sounded like two-step garage, bruv. Apart from the yeah boy. The yeah boy, maybe, yeah. I get you. Oh, God. Alright, other than that, what's new then? What's popping?
well, in general,
Yeah.
I actually read a weird story today.
Okay, redacted. Share with the world.
Apparently, Norway has a problem with students fucking on roundabouts.
What, particularly roundabouts?
Yeah.
Are we talking playground or are we talking motorway?
Nah, I talk about motorway, like roundabouts.
Wow.
They had to issue a warning.
So, wait.
An actual plea to like, don't fuck on roundabouts. Like, after graduation, don't be fucking on roundabouts.
Okay. Like, because I've got two images popping up in my head. Is it a roundabout, as in they're fucking on the mound, or are they fucking whilst driving?
No. Just like on the green area of the roundabout.
But what else are you going to use the area for then?
Yeah, but why there? Like, there's plenty of places you can fuck.
Not really.
You can
if
fuck
you're
in the
student,
park.
If you're a student, it's
What,
like
there's a
limited array of arenas. You know
So
what
are
I
you
mean?
trying to tell me that Norway has an abundance of roundabouts and like just no parks?
Maybe so. Maybe that's the whole thing. You know,
No
maybe they
parks.
want some grass in their arse. No pun intended. And yeah, as a result, you know, roundabouts. I would say.
There's got to be some areas like. Where did you used to go? Like I found places and it weren't on no fucking
I
roundabout.
don't know. I mean, like back then it was a different era. So before I even say anything, right? You know, you've got parks, benches. Depends on how savage you actually are. Like, this is the whole thing. It's like I know people that used to fuck in their friend's room, which didn't make any damn sense, bro. Because one, your friend is living in the same sort of situation as you.
So you could just do it at home. Yeah, but maybe their parents were around less.
Maybe, I don't know. It's all very complicated. But yeah, I mean, don't fucking roundabouts. I think that's the moral of the story. What other dumb shit have you read?
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna edit this bit out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Dumb shit. Yeah, like I saw one. I think it was like some newsfeed thing, and they were saying about Andre the Giant used to drink 106 pints of beer to ease the pain.
Yeah, I heard that.
But, bruv, it's been like 20 years. Like, or actually, it's been longer than that, isn't it? He died like in the 80s, bruv.
Yeah, that's old shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, why would you be popping up now? Like, why is it trending? Is it because Del Winton died as well? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, but the two aren't related. They weren't in any films together, or you didn't see Andre the Giant on Supermarket Sweep or any shit like that. So
I know. So why is he trending and not Del Winton? Like, this is it's peak. That's another thing as well. I wanted to sort of chat about as well. The need for people to become famous, only for them to become a meme. Like, the amount of horrible jokes that I get sent on my phone when somebody dies, it's horrible. It's like, I don't know. I mean, like, I want it to be like, because obviously the whole imagination of becoming famous is that you're going to be respected by your peers and everybody's going to want to work with you and you're going to earn lots and lots of money. When in reality, all you're going to become is internet meme, bro.
yeah, if you get famous, people just want to take the shit out.
Of course. And it's
just waiting for you to fuck up.
Of course. And my whole thing about that is, I'm just going to concentrate on the money, bro.
That's why my name's redacted.
My name is Sean. There you go. So yeah, what else? What else is on the agenda?
Spielberg's gonna direct a DC movie. You hear about that?
Why would he want to do that, bro? Has he seen any DC movies? No, I mean like.
So is this DC movie specifically you have a problem with, or like you don't have a problem with the fact that like last year or the year before, Spielberg was talking about how comic book movies were dumb?
You know what? Who do you reckon approached it? I reckon DC approached Spielberg full blown. Like, no way Spielberg came up to them. No way.
I don't know. No. You know what? Yeah, they must have approached him. They must have, because I think the last film he worked on.
Is it Super?
No, it's Ready Player One. I think that's a Warner Brothers movie. He was talking about maybe, probably not, but like, you know, obviously they were having conversations and shit. So, you know, they probably approached him and said, you know, you want to do a DC movie or whatever, and he probably thought about it. But I don't. Yeah, nah. There's no way he would have went to them, because you know they just thought, yeah, he's doing Ready Player One. Let's grab him while he's in the office and just get in his ear.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what it would take for DC movies to be, you know, halfway decent. I mean, Marvel at the moment.
Anything, like, it's not hard. It's not difficult. Just make
risks,
a good. Just make a good film. Just get the script right. Just figure out what the fuck you want to do, because I think that's their biggest problem at the moment. That they just haven't really figured out what the fuck they want to do. Like they want to make a movie, but they don't know how to do it. They just need to just sort their shit out and stick to a plan. Like, one, don't get some weird man-child to write and direct your fucking film.
True.
Just get someone with a bit of sense about them, and someone that knows what the fuck they want to do and what direction they're going to take, and they're not, their whole approach to movie making isn't like, this will look cool. It's like, yeah, I want to see cool shit, but I want the shit to make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's Batman vs Superman all over again, isn't it? And Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad on paper must look amazing, but when you actually watch that film, it's trash.
It should, in theory, but there's, I don't know, man. It had a lot of things against it. The first thing I thought when I knew they was doing Suicide Squad was like, why now? It's way too early. Like, that can't be your third film in. Yeah. It makes no sense. Like, you're just gonna do a film full of villains that technically in your mind should be pre-established, but they weren't. Like, they've come from nowhere. They're in this film. They throw in a whole load of bullshit. They don't even throw in a whole load of bullshit backstory, but it's kind of like theoried backstory. It's like Batman captured this guy, the Flash captured this guy, and then all of a sudden they're on a team to apparently be able to rival Superman, but no one's even on that level. Makes no sense.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Suicide Squad was kind of like that anyway, but it's like one of those ones where, the actual comic, you know what I mean? I mean, none of them were heavy hitters.
No, that's true, but the job of the Suicide Squad wasn't like, what if Superman decided to rip the roof of the White House? Like, that wasn't the thing. The whole deal with the Suicide Squad is, where can we send some reprehensible motherfuckers to places where we can't go on the books? Like, where we can't ask the Justice League to go, where we can't, send in the military or whatever. And also, if they get caught, they're totally expendable. That was the premise. That was the edict of the Suicide Squad. That was their point. But like, in the film, they portray them as like, oh, like, superpowers is starting to be a thing now, so we need something or a superpower team that we can control just in case. And
the worst thing about it is that none of the team on Suicide Squad actually had any superpowers.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
apart
it doesn't
from
make
El
sense.
Diablo, and he got murked, and then you've got the guy with the rope, who got murked as well.
Yeah, but being good with rope is not a power.
Well, this is it.
Being able to climb shit with a rope is not a power.
It's crazy. Proper.
Otherwise, fucking Ethan Hunt is a superhero.
Well, even more of a superhero than fucking Deadshot. But in saying that, it's a case of like,
Well, he might as well be, because in that film you don't even get to see his skills. Like, yeah, he shoots guns, like, but you see him do like one trick shot through the whole film, and it's like, all right, what else can you do? Who knows?
well, to be fair, I think a lot of it got cut, so it is what it is.
I don't think so, because I feel like that scene was put in late. That scene looks like it was put in late. That doesn't look like it was part of the film. That scene looks like they thought about it afterwards and like, oh man, and I thought the intros. That film's got like 3 intros. It's terrible.
I mean, if we compare Suicide Squad, the film, the live action film, to the latest edition of, say, Suicide Squad, it's like night and day, isn't it? It's like...
It is, but that also sucks.
No, it doesn't. I mean, for me, I like the fact that the animation is better than the actual live action at this current moment.
Yeah, but it's only better because the live action was so shit.
No.
If it was halfway decent, it wouldn't have been better. Because even that didn't even make sense. Like, all of a sudden, you've got all these characters that care about whether they go to heaven or hell. And it doesn't make any sense.
All right, let's just rewind it back, like, because I didn't like that part of the premise.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but that's the whole film.
The mission is what it is, isn't it? It's like you got, but then what we then realise is that it's all in seconds, not even seconds. It's the seconds whilst certain characters were twitching on the floor. I think it's his literally life flashing before his eyes. No pun intended. And that happened in the last sort of like movements of his eyes. You know?
Oh, were you talking about Reverse Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I mean, the fact that it ties into Flashpoint was probably the only thing I liked. Everything else you could throw in the bin. Like me personally, everything else I would have thrown in the bin. I mean, the cast is whatever. Like, I like Christian Slater in general, probably more than I should, or more than I have any reason to. But him as Deadshot was lacking. Like, I just weren't feeling it
And to be
at
fair,
all.
it's like, who do you reckon should play Deadshot? Like, me personally, I think...
I don't know. It doesn't even need to be anyone special. It just needs to be...
I was thinking
good.
the other day, it's Vanderama. You know, Will Vanderama.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy that was from the 70s show, and he's like recently got like a bit more grittier. Stopped doing all the laughy ha 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 stuff.
The foreign dude.
Yeah, the foreign dude. Yeah, Fez.
Fez. Yeah, it is Fez. I mean, probably. I mean, like I said, doesn't even need.
I caught a bit of him in Dust Till Dawn, and I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting.
Dust Till Dawn, the series.
Yeah, the series. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh god, alright. But yeah, I mean, he played a decent character in that. So it's a case of, alright, I've got to take this guy seriously. This is like the same thing when you're saying about Vince Vaughn as well. Vince Vaughn in what's that bloody film called? The one where he's with Andrew Garfield.
I saw that film. I cannot remember what that film
Gulch?
was called. No, not Gulch.
Ridge, is it?
Oh, it is Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge, that's it.
Yeah, you got there. Yeah, it's Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, it was good. I like that film.
Yeah, that's it as well. I mean, but it's a case of like comic book actors or comic actors, should I say, you know, crossing over back into drama or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he does well as a serious role. I reckon he would play a decent Deadshot, but the problem is that he's too small. Apparently.
Well, it's you mean live action?
Live action,
animated. Yeah. Like, I'm not really married to any specific look of Deadshot, you know, without the mask. I just think that animated fucking film just sucked. Like, it was just gratuitous for the sake of being gratuitous.
Yeah, I do get that.
The script just fucking balls, man. Like, the dialogue was shit. It was like,
There's some cheesy moments. I like. There's some moments. Like
All of it is fucking cheese. All of it. All of Deadshot's lines were just pure, just like cheese. Like it was just unnatural bullshit. Like there was just no need for it. Just like there was no need for the violence in it. It's just like they just pushed for the R rating for the R rating sake because it's Suicide Squad, but it didn't need to be like that.
I don't know. I mean, like I like the action. The action in it was cool.
The action was fine.
It's just the dialogue.
The dialogue was shit. Yeah. But the story was also shit. Like I said, like I can't buy into this. Like all these villains suddenly care about having this magic get out of hell free card.
I mean, the one I didn't get was Vandal Savage.
Yeah, because that didn't even make sense. Because as far as I know, he's immortal. Like there's no like, you know, I'm not the biggest Vandal Savage fan. Like I'm not gonna say I know everything about Vandal Savage, but as far as I know, dude lives forever. It's not like, oh, like I live forever unless someone kills me. Like I've never seen that anywhere. You know, I'm sure people will correct me if
As I
I'm
said
wrong.
before, I mean,
But it just seems weird that suddenly he cares. Like if you cared, then you would have been a bit more like, you know, you'd have done a bit more good rather than doing like thousands of years of just fucking hateful bullshit to people. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there's a get out of hell free card. I think I'll have that.
this is controversial, but I think that the whole film is a daydream of what the Reverse Flash had before he died. So that's the only reason why it probably didn't make as much sense. Well, that's the get out of jail free card. Yeah, pun intended.
I feel like that's even worse. That's even worse. That's as bad as all the like the flashbacks and the dream sequences in the fucking Snyder movies. It's like, no, just no. Throw that shit in the bin.
Okay. What other dumb shit have we seen?
What was I gonna say? They're doing a Mask film.
Mask.
Yeah, you know that you know it, man. I know you know it. The cartoon Mask.
Oh, the cartoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing that live action.
Okay. So is that going to be crossing over with G.I. Joe or something?
It's part of the universe. I don't know if there's going to be any direct crossovers, but it's going to be part of that G.I. Joe Transformers universe that they're trying to
Did they cross
build
over?
over there.
Did they cross over? Transformers
In the
and G.I.
cartoon?
Joe? No. In the actual live action, did they cross over?
They haven't yet. Like I think that Transformers are going to go through either a hard reboot or a soft reboot. So
But wasn't
either
that
after
the whole thing with Age of Extinction, whatever it was? That was like the soft reboot.
No, I don't think.
So is that like before or after the Bumblebee movie? And who's it directed?
It's going to be directed by F. Gary Gray.
Oh, he's the guy that's doing the Men in Black reboot with Chris Hemsworth, isn't it, or something like
That could be good.
I watched Ghostbusters. Everything they remake is shit.
Yeah, no, but like, just because they made they didn't have to make Ghostbusters shit. They made Ghostbusters shit, but it didn't have to be shit. Like, just because they rebooted it, it doesn't mean like intrinsically it's gonna be shit. Like the two things aren't connected.
Okay.
They can make a good movie. They just decided to make a shit movie because I don't know, because the guy who wrote and directed it just doesn't care about Ghostbusters, or like he was so fixated on making a women's Ghostbusters, which like I don't have a problem with in theory, but like if you're gonna do something, why completely flip it? Why not have a mixed team? You don't promote equality by just making a team the other way. Like you promote equality by showing that men and women can work together as equals, not like you're gonna have a team of super smart women and the only man that works with them is dumb as shit. Is dumber than shit.
I mean, the thing that got me pissed off was the fact that when they were going into like the actual ethos of what the team is, they were trying to say that this is the first time this team has ever existed, and I don't know. I felt that they were. It's a spit in the face of the original two, like because the original two, there's so much history that they could have drawn from and all that stuff, which probably was already like sort of like considered because they've been talking Ghostbusters 3 for the longest time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found it to be half-assed. The whole thing was half-assed.
I don't think it was half-assed because I feel like they made an effort. They just didn't make an effort in the right direction. It's so weird. It feels like the film even undermines its own message because you've got like in the beginning Kristen Wiig's character, like she's got a male boss and he fires her because of a book that she wrote when she was in school with a friend or some shit like that. And I don't know, like I kind of felt like she was gonna get like, you know, she was gonna get, or like she was gonna show like the flip side, like she was right, or you know, like he was gonna be proven to be wrong or whatever. And you don't get that because in the end it's like, yeah, well, you know, we're gonna keep what you did kind of secret, even though like it was in the middle of New York and everyone saw. Yeah, it was just, I don't even know, how did the fuck do we end up talking about Ghostbusters?
Alright, so let's talk about MIB review, innit, so.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I mean, it can be good. We was actually talking about The Mask.
I mean, The Mask is going to be good, but you're talking about the review.
Maybe. I don't even really, I vaguely remember the cartoon. I know I watched it, or I know I saw like some
Basically,
episodes.
they sat down and then they get put these like, helmets on, and then which are masks, and then they engage in flying cars and all that stuff. So it was kind of cool, from what I remember. Centurions was my favourite one, though.
Yeah, I did enjoy Centurions. Yeah, I used to run around talking about Power Extreme and shit like that.
I used to shout Power Extreme in people's ears. It's been a thing when I was a kid.
What was your favourite, mode of transport, like Centurions wise?
I don't know. I liked the green one was the water one, right? It was a helicopter.
The green one was, I think the green one was the water one.
Yeah, the green one was the water one. The yellow one was the helicopter, innit?
No, because the blue one was air.
Nah, he was a.
No, the green one was ground. The yellow one was water, and the blue one was air.
Yeah, and then they introduced like 3 more Centurions, innit?
I don't remember that.
So like season 2.
I don't remember that. I was listening to like some podcast a while ago. I think they were saying like one of them died and got replaced by a different one. I think it was the air one.
Yeah, he did.
But air, I think air was my favorite. Air was my favorite one.
Still love that shit, bruv.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Oh, we didn't even say like Spielberg, the DC film that Spielberg's supposed to be directing is Black Hawk.
Sorry?
Black Hawk. Supposed to be like a World War II type thing.
Black Hawk?
Yeah.
Who's Black Hawk?
It's not a character, it's like a World War II squadron. Like, I'm sure, I think, I was going to say Steve Rogers, not Steve Rogers, what's his name? Wonder Woman's boyfriend. I'm sure he was with the Black Hawks at some point.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Man. No, I'm not convinced. It's a bad move. For both Steven Spielberg and Chris Pine.
I don't think so, because I don't think it's going to get made. I think we've got another Gambit on our hands. Like, this film's just not going to get made.
Okay.
Like, Steven Spielberg's got a couple of films that he's supposed to be making already. And either he'll pass this on to someone else and he'll just produce, or it just won't get made. And I'm kind of thinking that we'll never see this film.
Okay.
With like a lot of DC films, a lot of shit that they talk about, I don't think we'll ever see.
I mean, Batman, I don't think we'll see. Not now, anyway.
We are not going to see Batman in the hottest minute. Like, in a hot hour, we're not going to see Batman.
No.
Like, that film just seems like it's got no traction whatsoever. There's no real movement. Like, it's not even really confirmed whether Ben Affleck's going to come back or not. I think at the moment, the last film he's supposed to be in is The Flash. And I don't even know if they started filming that yet. I don't even...
They're meant to be doing Flash and they're meant to be doing Justice League 2. I heard that Justice League 2, after Aquaman anyway, it's meant to be the last film.
I don't even think they're going to make that.
Maybe not. Okay, what else? What else is on the damn list?
Bulletproof?
What's that?
Bulletproof is a TV series with your favorite director, Noel Clarke, and Ashley Waters, good old Ashley. Like, from what I read, it's like UK Bad Boys, like
What?
UK Bad Boys, as in Will Smith and Martin Lawrence Bad Boys, not just like
that's worse.
Bad Boys.
That's worse than I had in mind.
How can it be worse? What did you have in mind?
I thought it's going to be like another Top Boy or something like that. But for when you're saying like Bad Boys as in Bubblicious,
As in their cops, yeah.
I don't know. Who do you reckon would be who? Like, who would be the Will Smith and who would be the Martin Lawrence of that group?
I think... Oh, man, I can't really remember. I think I read that Noel Clarke, his dad was like the first black police commissioner or some shit like that.
Makes sense.
And Ashley Waters' character, his... like, he grew up in like the foster system or adoption system or some shit like that, and he became a cop. But the weird thing to me is, like, UK police don't really carry guns. Like, not generally.
Well, this is it. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell for me. I mean, very hard. I mean, like, apparently they're on like a prolific list or something like that, weren't they? About black actors and all that stuff. And I reckon just this alone should inspire some black youth to come out and do stuff. I mean, because it's one thing, you know, you being, you know, ghettoized and all that stuff, and, you know, Theresa May's trying to deport, you know, your parents and, you know, your aunt or whatever.
I show you for laugh because that shit's not funny.
It's not funny.
That shit's fucked up.
It is fucked up. But
I couldn't even believe, like, when I read that, I couldn't even believe this shit's going on.
Well, this is it. Like, there's time... Well, this is it. I mean, it's hard to basically get motivated for a country that wants to, you know...
Kick your parents out.
Yeah, deport grandma, you know what I mean? That's what they want to do, bruv. It's peak, bruv. But either. That being said, my whole viewpoint is that it's going to be a lot harder for any black director to get any money once Bulletproof is made, bruv.
Really?
It's going to be so shit.
You think it's going to be harder?
Yeah, it's such a ridiculous... It's like, just imagine, like, that's a... What, is it the Sky one?
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah,
so that's a premium sort of like, you know, syndication sort of deal.
Yeah, but he's not directing it. I don't think I saw... when I read the piece, I don't think I saw who's directing it, so...
Okay, fine. I mean, I don't know.
For I don't know, it could be a
I'm
white man
negative
director.
for good reason. It's basically, you know... It's not that I've got a problem against Noel Clarke in particular. I think that there's just better stories out there to be told with different people.
Oh, but even if you think that, even if that is what you think or your belief, don't you think that you know, like your Ryan Coogler's and your F. Gary Gray's are counterbalancing any, you know, ill will that could be made from like a Bulletproof?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I want to watch decent programs. That's my main thing. I want to watch, you know...
It could be good.
I know.
It could be great.
It could be amazing. I mean, like, you know, give or take, you know, a couple sort of provisions. Like, I will have to excuse Noel Clarke from saying blood in the wrong context, or I'm gonna have to deal with Ashley.
Yeah, but he might not, because like he's from what I read, like he should be like the straight one. Like if anyone's saying blood, it'd be Ashley Waters.
And that's just as bad. It's just as bad. So,
They can't win. They can't win.
No, it's not that they can't win. As I said before, I believe that there are other actors out there that should have the opportunity rather than them. Like, as much as it may excite them individually, it does not excite me in the slightest to watch them recreate their dream of becoming Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in 2011.
Oh, that's harsh.
Shunk, bruv.
That's harsh.
Bruv, I'm trying to be real. It's like, because you've got different aspects of it, right? It's not all about, you know, people, you know, just. It's not nothing to do with Ashley Waters and Noel Clarke in particular. I just believe there are better actors out there with better stories to tell via the medium of acting. That's it. That's what I'm going to say about it.
So you feel like they're taking people's opportunities?
Yeah, but then saying that, it's like one of those ones where if you're at the top of the mountain, you got to kick them hands off the ledge. So I get that.
Man, help a motherfucker up.
No, this is the crap. This is the crap mentality. You're like,
yeah, but no, okay, but are you saying that they're not helping motherfuckers up? Because obviously,
I can't vouch
by them creating their own projects and working on those projects, like that's providing jobs for people.
That would be the case, but as I said before, if it's the case that they're not directing and they're just starring in it,
yeah,
it's like.
But it is. But even if he's not directing,
it's like when Richard Blackwood was on top of the heap. Remember that was like what, late 90s, whatever. Yeah. And through no fault of his own, he was just going for it, right? I respect that. There was no one else really at his level going for the same goal. Like, there's none. And I think that's part of the fault of the whole system. I mean, like, in the moment, British actors are gaining accolade outside of the country that basically invented acting and theatre. Now, you got to think of it, you got to look at it from all the angles. Like, you know, if you're doing like theatre, England's meant to be the place to be, right? Same thing with like if you're doing opera, Italy's the place to be. Or if you're doing pantomime, Australia's the place to be.
Is it? Do they have pantomime in Australia?
Well, pretty much. Like they always do it. It's like Priscilla Queen, Des and all that stuff.
That's not pantomime.
It is.
Nah.
It is. He's behind you. Pause. Nah, I mean, like, but all jokes aside, like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, each country has its thing, and the fact that we have hardly any black actors aspiring within British drama or British comedy, I mean, you can count them on, like, your hand now. Like, it's, like, not that many. I mean, you've got, the guy from the It Crowd.
Yeah.
You've got the guy from Misfits.
Okay.
I'm talking about TV. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Like we're not talking about the major ones, right? You've got the guy from Phone Shop.
Yeah.
Was it Dwayne, whatever his name is? That's not his real name, I know that. And then you've got
That's
like.
similar though.
I know, it's weird. It's like
you couldn't
remember his name. It's weird.
Like, either just make it your name or just be different. Like, why just slightly change your name?
Well, to be fair, it might have been the case that he went for the role and he had a name that was similar.
I don't think so.
Or maybe it was his name and then they thought, well, we've got to change it to something more.
I also don't think so. That would have been a fucking amazing coincidence if it was just like, it was his name or if it was slightly different from his name.
Okay, I mean, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody like him being in that role in Bulletproof would probably be better because he's actually funny.
Yeah, but I don't think it's it's meant to be a comedic role. Like, it's more of an action role.
So you're saying man can't do action?
I'm not saying I ain't seen him do action, but like,
Saying man's not a Ting?
if man says he's a Ting, he's a Ting.
He's a Ting, bro. He's a Ting. Simple Tings, bro. I mean, like, but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. He would be better in that role. I mean, but then it's a weird place. Like,
as which one?
That's the funny one. Whoever the funny one's meant to be. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. The whole notion of it's ridiculous.
I don't think any of them are going to be funny.
It's like anything that, I mean, as horrible as it sounds, when somebody says to me it's the UK version of blah blah blah, or it's the US version.
Yeah, but you know better than most people that that's just like a shorthand that they use just to get the idea over in people's minds.
Yeah. I mean, like, even when we're doing the writing and stuff, and I was saying about the guys and all that stuff, and you know, it's basically like, how do we describe the guys? Oh, it's a superhero sitcom, right? Because it's more comedy than it is action and violence. But there will be action and there will be violence.
Yeah.
Same thing with the contingency plan. The contingency plan was what was the shorthand version of that? That was going to be what Logan's Run meets I don't know, backdrop of Fallout.
Yeah, so you know, and you've used this shorthand. So like, just because it's the UK version of, and to be fair, like the UK version of is often like not as bad as the American version of.
Okay, that used to be the
Red
case.
Dwarf.
Okay, Red Dwarf. I haven't seen Red Dwarf, but like America's actually got a lot of original comedy at the moment that I think is quite good. You've got like People of Earth. You've got oh god, that actually reminded me of something. You know they brought back Roseanne, right?
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere.
And I watched one episode and it's trash, bruv.
Is it?
Trash.
Is it like, have they tried to modernize it, or
No.
is it like they just made another episode of Roseanne?
It's just
exactly how they made it before.
It's exactly how they made it before, which is, I suppose, isn't a bad thing.
With the laugh track and everything.
Huh?
With the laughter track and everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was beyond that.
No. And then it's basically live studio audience gig, and it's the same shit.
Wow.
It's the same shit. I mean, like, but in saying that, it depends. Like, some people have some form of, you know, I don't know, sentiment towards Roseanne. Maybe it helped them through their breakup or something like that. And it is one of those sorts.
Yeah, then get the fucking box set.
Well, this is it. But Series 10, I don't know. I mean, like, they tried to tackle sort of like controversial issues, and it's like
what?
Oh, it's basically, you know, the sister, is it Jackie?
Yeah.
She hates Roseanne because apparently she made her fuck up her vote. Like, she said, don't vote for Hillary Clinton. She didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. She voted for Jill Stein or something like that. But it's sort of like the joke is basically being ringed out that Roseanne basically voted for Trump. That's what you think.
Okay. That's a you know, hate is a bit strong for something as trivial as that.
Well, this is it, and it's like it's trying to deal with the issues. Like, for some reason, was it TJ, whatever his name is?
I think it was TJ.
Yeah, he's got a black kid, and he's just come back from the army. They've got
I feel like I already don't care.
They've got a trans. They've got a trans sort of like grandson. Becky, whoever her name is, she's trying to become a surrogate mother, and then Darlene, she's a jobless single mom, basically, and she's living at home with her mum, which is all very depressing and all very Roseanne.
Yeah, it is fucking depressing.
But it's like one of those ones where
it kind of feels like no way to kind of feed into the stereotypes. Like,
this is it.
Sort your shit out.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, but as I said before, it's Roseanne, and so it's like.
Yeah, I remember I liked it, but like that was back in the day when there were like 4 channels.
There's no choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely no choice. So what else is on the dumb list? I mean, what do you think of The Walking Dead? Have you caught up yet?
No, I am still way behind. I think I watched the first 1 or 2 episodes of the current season, and then yeah, just never went back in.
You know, super spicy now, yeah?
I don't know.
I mean,
no idea
now,
what's going on.
well, basically, just in a nutshell, everything's built up in The Walking Dead, and now it's transferred for the first time over into Fear the Walking Dead. So now you've got a continuation of a story in Fear the Walking Dead, season 4, that you had from season 8 of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's one of those ones where, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to sort of like give too much away, but it's fucking spicy. Really fucking spicy at the moment. And I watched the latest episode, and yeah, it's good. But in saying that, it's like The Walking Dead for the last season, because like as you said before, you missed half of it and blah blah blah. I mean, like you still watch it on box sets and all that stuff. But for me, it's like one of those ones where watching The Walking Dead after the third episode, that's when it got good. Because I was so zonked out. I mean, like, there's the whole Carl bit dying, and then them burying him, and then, you know, it just seemed a bit pointless. I felt like it was going to be either Beth or... Was it Beth? Is her name Beth? Or
I think it was
Sarah?
Beth.
Beth. I think it was going to be another Beth scenario where it's like, oh, God, it's just going to be, like, drawn out and blah, blah, blah. But they get straight into it in the third episode, bruv.
So what, is he die in the second episode?
No, he gets buried in the second episode. He dies in the first.
No, because I saw the first episode. He didn't die.
Yeah, he dies at the end.
It must be the end of the second episode.
No, it's the end of the last season bit that you was thinking of.
I don't think so.
Where he's getting everybody into the tunnels and stuff. Okay, cool.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but just watch it. It's good. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of other bits and pieces that we can sort of like drive from the characters, because obviously it's either you're pro Rick or you're pro Negan, as it were.
Can you be pro Negan?
It's hard to be. I mean, it's easier to be pro Negan than pro Governor.
I don't. That's a pretty good question. Like who's? Nah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it is a good question, but I feel like the choice is easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
If you like, whose society would you rather live in? Would you rather live under Negan or would you rather live under the governor? I'd rather live under the governor. Like his people were kind of living nice. Like it was semi-normal.
And everybody else outside, yeah,
exactly. Everyone outside was fucked, but like once you're in those
wars,
wars,
and he's gunning people down.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing stuff that didn't make sense.
Yeah, like I'd definitely fuck it, man. I'd live under the governor.
At least with Negan, like he's got reasons for it.
Watch the zombie fights in the evening. Yeah, you got entertainment as well. Like with Negan, like there's none of that shit. Everyone's just living hard. Or like working like fucking slaves, or
they're not working like they actually are. The workers, they're literally called workers.
Or queuing up and getting your rations and fuck that shit.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Like it's a more realistic post-apocalyptic society than the governor's offerings.
I don't know. Like you say, it's more realistic, but I think. Once you get your little infrastructure going, you get your little farmers and your little your scouts going out and scavenging food from what's left of the shops and shit. You can live nice. Like there's no need for people wearing I did see a little bit of the last, I think it was the last episode or episode before, and that melt face dude, I can't remember what his name is. Dwight, yeah, that's it. Dwight, he'd obviously been caught. And he was wearing the blandest clothes I've ever seen in my life. It's like you need to go out of your way to find clothes that bland. Like, he was basically wearing clothes
was wearing
fashioned
rags.
out of a Hessian sack.
It was a sack, man. It was a sack. It was
It was a
rags.
sack made into clothes. It's like, that is effort. It would have been easier to just like find random clothes and just put them on him than to make him look so fucking bland.
I don't know. I mean, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, you got lots of bits. So, was it something about Vin Diesel or something?
So Vin Diesel has the rights to Triple X. So that's going to be his shit now.
What, like Chronicles?
That's also his shit. He's got the rights to Chronicles. But I don't know, like, I don't think the last one did too well, so...
No, it's trash, that's why.
I didn't see it.
It's trash.
I didn't see it. That's upsetting, because I do like Pitch Black. Chronicles of Riddick was disappointing. I did like the game. I enjoyed playing the game. That filled in some bits. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah, I just didn't really enjoy that film. And I didn't see the last one.
The last one,
he's got
Riddick, whoever it is it's very meh. Like, for me anyway. I mean, it was good because it got him back to his BS, as it were, but then there was no sequel afterwards, so it's like, meh.
Yeah, but there's no sequel afterwards because I don't think that one did too well. Like, if that one did well, there probably would have been a sequel. But anyway, yeah, so he's got the rights to Triple X, so, you know, he wants I don't know, he wants to own his franchises.
It's all about ownership.
Maybe he feels like, you know, Fast and Furious is kind of out of his control now.
Certainly because he like wants to beef The Rock, which, you know, is obviously a bad idea.
Who do you reckon's in the wrong on that one?
I don't know. I feel like it's Vin Diesel, but this is just like obviously I'm an outsider, but like just looking at the two, you know, the two characters, like two people, because they're not actually, this is them, this is not their characters. I feel like Dwayne is a bit like I don't feel like he's as ego driven as Vin Diesel. Like
I don't know. I reckon it's the opposite.
Oh, you're gonna bring the beef right here into the Wild On studio.
I know the reason why is because I can imagine like Vin Diesel being like a sensitive actor type dude, didn't it? Because he used to be a breakdancer, so he'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna try something new. And the Brock was like, you shut up with your candy ass, some bitch, you know, like shove it up your ass sideways and, you know, doesn't matter and all that stuff, bruv.
Nah. Well, I mean,
only because I reckon The Rock's got more bants than Vin Diesel. I reckon Vin Diesel, like I Am Groot, is the best role he's ever had.
that's. I feel like that's harsh. That sounds like a backhanded compliment.
It is a backhanded compliment, bruv. Name one film where you, apart from Boiler Room, which doesn't really count, where he's actually acted more than a piece of wood.
The first Fast and Furious? He's acting in that.
Triple X was really good.
I mean, no, look, to be fair, when you see him in interviews, you can see when he's in his films, he's clearly acting because he seems like a completely different person.
Yeah, but there might be an act. That's the trivial nature of acting.
That is true. That is true. That could be
Where
an
it's
act.
like, I don't know, but then it also pays well, you know, like I reckon it could be, you know, Vin being a bit of a diva.
That's kind of what I feel like it is. It's like it's you know, like the Fast and the Furious is his baby, sort of. Even though there's a couple of films where he's not in them.
Like 4.
So there's only really like 2. Like we'll say like at the end of 3 doesn't count.
Yeah, active role.
So yeah, so he's not in 2 of them. So yeah, I mean it is his baby, and then for The Rock to come in and then people kind of treat him like a bigger star. Yeah, I mean that's probably gotta hurt. Like if it was me, like that's probably gonna sting a little bit. Like I
haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious with The Rock and Vin Diesel in. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. I haven't seen the most recent one, but I've seen 5 and 6.
Is it 8 now?
And 7? Yeah, I saw 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, 8 I haven't seen. The Fate of the Furious. Yeah, but they kind of missed the trick because they didn't call it the 8, like with the number 8.
Oh God. No. Well, to be fair, after they've done it with the second one, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, but they should have rolled with it. Like, lean into it. This is why 5 is the best, because 5 just doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like, at all. That film is completely ridiculous. From you dragging a giant safe down the street with your car, physics not included. Then you go, like, just fucking have fun with it. That's where I was. It's like, yeah, like I wasn't really into that, the Fast and Furious. And it's like, yeah, 5 came along, and it's just like, yeah, we're stupid now. So
yeah, but
like,
I've noticed that he does that a lot. Like The Rock Johnson, as it were, or Dwayne. He goes into a franchise and goofs it up, which is all good. But with Jumanji, it works.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he does that all the time. Like, I think he does it where it's called for. It's in the right place, I feel.
Yeah, I'll agree. Any other?
Well, I was gonna say, like, who do you think would win, Rock versus Vin Diesel?
Rock.
In a fight.
Yes, he's held championships. Vin Diesel hasn't.
In a fake sport.
No. I'm sorry. There's a fake aspect of it, but even if you like throw that away, he used to be an American.
Yeah, I mean, even I don't really like to use fake in terms of wrestling. It's predetermined. Like, because if you watch it, like, there is a tremendous amount of skill involved in you not killing yourself and the person you're working with.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. It is hard, and most of the time it looks like they're not even busting sweat. So yeah, you know, it is an athletic achievement.
I mean, if you
but it doesn't mean he can fight.
It doesn't mean that he can't fight as well.
No, it doesn't mean he can't fight.
I mean, you can lift weights.
What about if it was a dance-off?
Now you're talking. I reckon Vin. I'm calling Vin. Have you seen the video?
You think? Yeah, I have seen the video. Well, you think he can call back on his break dancing roots? You think he can still do it?
He'll break something. He's too big, but but yeah, he'll beat him. Beat him in a dance-off. Easy.
Who do you think would win in a till contest? So like if they were cashiers on the till, and
who do you reckon would be the more competent?
Yeah, who do you think would be the fastest?
I reckon The Rock, you know. I don't know why, because it doesn't make any sense. I think it's because he's got his charisma and everything else like that.
Yeah, but he's so big, and those till spaces are so small.
They are. I mean, if he was to put it down, if he was working in Virgin Megastore, for example.
Okay, because I was thinking more like a Tesco's, Sainsbury's
sit down.
Yeah.
Maybe
like
even
actual, with a, I can't even remember what that thing's called.
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, like conveyor belt, the whole shebang.
Who do you reckon will deal with the pressure belt?
What actual pressure situation? Like if it was Christmas.
In Christmas. Okay, so Vin Diesel and The Rock at Christmas, who's going to be the better cashier?
I
don't know.
I actually feel like The Rock.
I reckon The Rock, but I can see Rock as being the supervisor and Vin Diesel being the cashier. as heartless as that sounds.
I feel like it's The Rock because I don't know. I just feel like he'll be better in any high pressure situation. If it comes down to pressure, I think he can handle it with a cool head.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I feel like he'll have the coolest head. But yeah, I don't know. But again, those tilt spaces are small, and The Rock is so big, and it's so weird that since he's left wrestling, he's only gotten bigger.
Yeah. You should actually. Well, to be fair, it's like what you gonna do other than lift weights. You're rich. You don't have to work.
Yeah, but also you're acting. You don't need to be that big. It would have made sense. It would have made more sense being that big when he had to lift grown men and dash them across the place.
Well, to be fair, I think the main issue with wrestling as well is that it's not the case of you being big or whatever. It's the case of you not having the time to work out because you're always on the road.
Well, they got time. Yeah, but yeah, they are on the road, but they got time to go gym.
Nah, not really. You got to include family. You got to include all that other stuff. But anyway, speaking of family and all that shit, we're gonna wrap this one up. But yeah, I mean, like, it's the first podcast. It's good. It's good stuff. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's good. Good talk.
Good talk. Nice.
Good talk.
Now we go
Real
to
dumb
Apple
shit.
Save. Apple Save this. Yo, if you want to catch us, we're at Real Dumb Shit on Twitter. That's ReelDumbShit. You also got us at Redacted Shunt. If you want to holler at us directly. You also got Wylon Mofo and Wylon.com. Later.